So the second thing I did today was I fumbled, or I actually paper traded a perfect setup, which was just such a waste of my time, my emotions and money as well. Just to recap, this was the setup. You could see I took that loss here, and I immediately reflect now what happened. Okay, so this was data week, right? CPI was, I think, relatively bullish. Normally I then would want to see price go take the high or the low, which was then here, but these are two levels. Whenever one is taken, you want to trade it the other way. That was first ideal setup. So what happened? Price was chopping, not giving too much of a solid move. Now what happened? Here price opened in this wick. And of course we're ranging in all-time high territory. What happened? This wick was actually occurring over here. So the data high was immediately, let's say, more bearish, showing more bearish price action. There was a higher high on that wick for MNQ and a lower high for ES on that wick, especially taking into account this manipulation. So what's next? Price immediately started dumping, and I went to the 5 minute. I saw this really nice 5 minute level, support, wicked out, breakdown. And while this was forming, I was thinking, okay, this looks like a unicorn setup, because not only did we have data low, but we still had these equal lows that were untaken, and there was a gap over here. So there, the draw on liquidity was absolutely clear. Was it also coinciding with London low? Yes, definitely. So this was London low, looking absolutely perfect. So much draw on liquidity. Price dropped, and I was thinking, okay, so I normally don't like the volatility of when US opens. So I have this agreement with myself that I do not take any levels or gaps that are below the M5. So I marked out this level, and I was thinking, okay, let's go back to my thinking, because I did a lot of thinking and a lot of emotions, but not a lot of trading. So we have this 5 minutes. Let's go to the 1 minute. What do we have here? Okay, so the 5 minute was printing, right? Bam, bam, bam. Already retesting this 5 minutes. There was also 1 minute gap here. Very good. So price was dropping, and it was taking out this wick. So I was thinking, okay, if it goes, probably it's going to tap this level, and then it's going to dump, because data low is just absolutely clear to take. I put this trade, and now it comes to the point, okay, do I actually set my limit order or not? And this is when I got scared. First of all, I got scared because I already took a loss, and I didn't want to take another loss for my funded account. I'm 600 in profit. I took a $150 loss, and I didn't want to take any more losses. And I found my way out. Okay, I told myself, oh, I don't like I'm not very comfortable trading the US Open price action because it's so volatile. So I told this to myself, and I got even more scared. And then I gave myself an easy way out. Okay, let's paper trade. To be honest, I also didn't know really where to put my stop, because yeah, I don't want to put it here, because then the RR is really like one-on-one. But I also knew that once this level breaks, which looked really clean on the 5 minute, as you can see, like one up, tap, tap, and then one down. So overall that just looked really good, and the setup was actually screaming at me, and I couldn't find, at that moment I only had emotional reasons not to take it, but there were no system or model. My checklist for my model or strategy did not mention anything, don't take it. It all lights were green, but I didn't do it. So that's definitely a learning from my side on the emotional part. So what happened? Price wicked into that level and immediately dumped. So we're on the 1 minute now, right? So within 1 minute I had a 1R. Within 1 minute extra, it almost took that level again. It wicked up, so it was very volatile, but the PA was just as clear as could be. And then the next minute it just not only take out data low, but it also took out these equal lows. So London low was taken, London high and London low were taken, so that's ideal. And then you have 4 minutes the trade and it's done. Actually, I could have taken it another time because it pierced that level again. It was more choppy for sure, but it took it another time. Okay, so just to reflect, okay, data high, data low were absolutely clear. Data high was taken. Was it taken just before US Open? Yes. So actually a couple of minutes, 9:20, it got taken. It got wicked out. Absolute beautiful manipulation. SMT with ES, which was looking very heavy. That 5 minute, beautiful drop, beautiful retest, beautiful drop again, targeting the DOL. So what I wrote down in my journal is that I need to reflect on the loss, be okay with it, and check in with myself if I am mentally, emotionally clear to continue with another trade. If the answer is somewhat hesitant or maybe even no, then I should definitely not trade at all until that is cleared. What definitely helps for me is that I make some rules or some agreements with myself for the US Open session, that I say, okay, the 5 minute levels are clean. If the setup looks very, very good feeling wise, if it screams at me and I cannot find any reason not to take it, I should take it. That's the rule, or at least that's the conversation I did not have. So I let emotions creep in, I let fear creep in, and as a following or as a consequence, I also let fear influence my behavior. And that resulted into this missing out on this beautiful setup. There is always something to learn, and this is something I deal with on a regular basis, where I have ups and downs in a sense whether or not it affects me. And I do realize that there is definitely some more to learn on taking losses and then being clear or clearing my mind afterwards.